I had a question. I want to know, why isn't anybody talking enough? Not that you guys aren't, but the press, about Sam Green and Anthony Lucas and Elijah Hughes. And I think the defensive line is in a lot better shape than people might be led to believe.
Yeah, that's all I was talking
about. Guys, what do you think about them?
Yeah, I think people go ahead.
It's not that complicated. It's that, a lot of these guys, I mean, not the brand new guys, but the guys who were in the program a year ago, who was coaching them, right? Alex Grinch. And so, you're
right about that.
We know that this defensive coaching staff is good, but we just got to see it happen on the field. And a lot of, again, this is where the national media skepticism comes into play. They can say, well, you can hire all these new coaches, but it's still Lincoln Riley leading the program, and Lincoln Riley has not had good defenses historically. So it's just a doubting Thomas thing. And I mean, you can't blame the national media to a certain point. And again, my sore spot with the national media is that when they say he doesn't take it seriously. Well, he's actually done lots of tangible things to show that, you know what, hey, I did things wrong last year. I realized my error. I know there's a need to be different, do things in a different way. Also, Benny Wiley having a different point of emphasis as strength coach, guiding guys in a different way compared to the Grinch regime. But that's what it comes down to, is that you had bad coaches. And of course, not just Grinch, Dante Williams as well. I know that's not defensive line, but still, you had multiple bad coaches on last year's staff, and now you have a lot of good coaches. And so that should translate into a lot, but a lot of the national media, they're going to say, doubting Thomas, I'll believe it when I see it. And that's just the reality of where we are.
Right. And you know what? You're so right. And when you mentioned yesterday, you guys said it's based on a village, kind of a village voice with all the four coaches on the defense, and instead of just the hierarchy of Lincoln Riley on down. Someone like Carlon Jones, I think, is going to surprise people too. And Elijah Hughes' first step is pretty crazy. I mean, I think people are going to be a little surprised at how quick he is off the ball. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just hoping for the best, but.
No, I agree. Listen, I completely agree with you. I think these guys are going to work their, our own fans don't really know how good Elijah Hughes is. They haven't looked at his high school film. They haven't seen he hadn't had a lot of opportunity to impress, but he's that guy making that leap. You know what I mean? These guys are going to make big jumps. And there's tons of guys like you brought on Carlon Jones. He's a true freshman. No one knows, but he rolls into campus at a whopping 310. So I mean, he wasn't here in the spring, but he's going. These guys are going to make that. Now I was talking to Gabe today. Hey, it's one thing to come in with college size. It's different to come in with college strength. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not questioning that. I mean, it's like you get 3 or 4 years in a weight program. It's a whole different. But there's also outliers. There's some very strong young men out there that come in and that can dominate. So it's not unheard of. Scooby, do you agree with me? I just thought it was so weird that they weren't too worried about the defensive tackle position. I think you're speaking my language when you're naming the guys. So maybe they're not prototypical size, Scooby. They're not this prototypical size, but they can play in there. And then, like you said, Elijah Hughes is quick, and that quickness and that get off, and he, his first move. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. That's why I said, I said, as of right now, I'm saying we're a bit thin in the middle. But if these guys, if Elijah takes that next step, if Carlon Jones comes in here with that man strength to start off as a true freshman, hey, man, all of a sudden things are looking really good. But we're going to have to see that first, I've been burned too many years for, to go, hey, we're all set. We're all set. Yeah, we're good.
Me too. When you said yesterday that the recruiting of the defensive tackle position, it's a little bit funny because they didn't really go after that prototypical defensive tackle size, except for the one cat that went to Oregon from Michigan State. Other than that, it was kind of low key. I think, and you said, I want to know what they're thinking. Maybe they think they already have it in house. I think you're on the right track. I think that they got people already figured out. I think that they believe that what they got is not even just good enough, but going to be surprised the shit out of people. They're going to ball.
Well, you have, yeah, you do have, Clifton moving inside, Abasiri. There's a lot of big guys. They're young, they're unproven. Oh, I mean, Clift is not young and unproven, but I mean, he's moving inside, put extra weight on, and see how well he can carry that weight and what he can do on the inside. I'm fairly confident. I think he did actually play a little bit inside as well. Don't quote me on that. But they know what I do know is they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We can't go Coach Henny. Matt, that's your cue.
Woof, woof.
Right? You can't do it and then say, well, I don't know if they know what they're doing. How come they didn't pick up in our? Where's our nose guard? I mean, what these guys amateur hour? We can't talk out both sides of our mouth. Either we believe that Danton, Lynn, and Henny know what they're doing, which I do believe they know what they're doing. They have a plan. They have a plan, and I'm hoping it works. That's all I'm saying.
Want to step in? Want to step in? Want to step in? Want to step in? One note. Another little news item from Big Ten Media Days that we still haven't covered, but we're going to get it in right before the end of the show. Lincoln Riley talked up Jide Abasiri at Big Ten Media Days. So, like, if Lincoln Riley is going to bother to say something about a guy up front on defense, well, that we should take that as a sign that he's doing the right things, that he's really progressing well. So that's very encouraging to hear about Abasiri.
And it's weird, it's almost, you brought that up, but people are not talking about Braylon Shelby too. The way he finished the year last year as a true freshman, coming in this year, we're talking about really, really big guys. And then Cameron Fountain, how fast can they bring him along? I'm not, when Matt and I were talking earlier, and like, that's why I said, hey, Matt, I don't know about the depth. I think we have a lot of depth at a lot of positions. The problem why Matt kind of gives me that look is, well, let's just see them on the field. It looks great on paper, and these guys look great on film. But what do they look like when they're going up against, 60-year seniors, right? On that, on the offensive line, how well are they going to hold up? And so that's when the rubber is going to meet the road, right? That's when we're going to see what we have. I'm very confident, but again, Matt, the skeptic is going to wait. You're the doubting Thomas. It's you. No, but I get it. I understand. I was all excited last year about our additions, and while I'm still high on the players, we just didn't have the scheme. So we'll see.
Here's the thing. I am a doubting Thomas. I am a doubting Thomas about the offensive line, but I actually think that the defense is going to be good, but injuries happen. This is an attrition sport, and so as soon as that one negative domino falls, that's when USC is going to really be in trouble. So it's the attrition. It's not the guys that are going to be starting on day one. It's the attrition. That's the thing. And injuries happen in this sport. So